Most people go their entire lives without having to wear a tie. However, as an airman in the world's greatest Air Force, we are afforded the opportunity to wear several different uniforms that give us the chance to do exactly that. With that said, there are countless ways to tie a tie properly. For the purposes of this video, we will focus on how to tie a tie in the simple or oriental knot and a Windsor knot. While you are here in BMT, you may be required to wear a tie. This video will ensure that you have the ability and tools to tie your tie correctly. To begin, you must ensure you have all of the necessary equipment. One blue herringbone twill tie issued to you during the second clothing issue, and an optional tie tack or tie clasp. Now that you have all of your equipment, you want to take your tie and drape it over your neck so the front side of the tie is resting against your neck. You're all set now. So how do you tie your tie? The proper steps for tying the simple knot are as follows. Step 1. Start with the back side of the tie facing away from you. The wide end is on the right and the small end is on the left. The tip of the small end should rest slightly above your belly button. This will vary depending on your height and the length and thickness of your tie. Move only the active or wide end. Step 2. Bring the wide end under the small end to the left. Step 3. You will then bring the wide end over and across the small end to the right. Step 4. Next, you will bring the wide end up into the neck loop from underneath. Step 5. Now, bring the wide end down through the loop you've just made in the front. Step 6. Pull down on the wide end to tighten. Slide the knot up to adjust so that the triangle point of the wide end of the tie covers a portion of the buckle but does not extend below the bottom of the buckle. Now that you've learned the simple knot, we will cover the Windsor knot. To begin, take your tie and drape it over your neck so the back side of the tie is resting against your neck. You're all set now. So how do you tie your tie? The proper steps for tying the Windsor knot are as follows. Step 1. Start with the wide end of the tie on the right and the small end on the left. The tip of the small end should rest slightly above your belly button. This will vary depending on your height and the length of the thickness of your tie. Only move the active or wide end. Step 2. Now, bring the wide end over the small end to the left. Step 3. Next, you will bring up the wide end into the neck loop from underneath. Step 4. The next step is to follow the active or wide end down to the left. Step 5. The wide end will then be brought around the back of the small end to the right. Step 6. Now continue to bring that same wide end up to the center towards the neck loop. Step 7. Step 7 is to lead the wide end through the neck loop and down to the right. Step 8. We're almost there. You will now bring the wide end of the tie across the front and to the left. Step 9. Next, bring the wide end of the tie up into the neck loop from underneath. Step 10. Your last real step is to bring the wide end down through the loop you've just created in the front. Step 11. Finally, tighten the knot by pulling down on the wide end. Slide the knot up and adjust. Now that you have properly tied and positioned your tie, you may wear a tie tack or a tie clasp. If worn, the tie tack or clasp will be the wing and star design, Air Force symbol, or rank insignia. The tie tack or clasp will be centered between the bottom edge of the knot and bottom tip of the tie. You've done it. You've learned how to tie a tie in a simple knot and a Windsor knot. Continue to practice and hone your skills, as this will come in handy each time you must wear a tie while in your service uniform.